What's up, everybody? Exodus 1, aka Indigo Sky, aka y'all already know who it is, man. Trigger Ranking. Merry Christmas to everybody, man. We streamed all the way last night until Christmas Eve up until into Christmas. So we already did a stream, but this will be our second stream for Christmas. So hey man, appreciate everybody for tapping in last night. We had a good little crowd last night. It wasn't too bad. Um, Want y'all know the rules. Like, subscribe, share, hit notification. You want to support the channel or follow me on any other platforms, everything is at the top of my YouTube description. With that being said, let's get this show on the road.
You are watching a master at work.
All right, so let's go, y'all. We about the first thing we about to do the sauce, man. You know, just to have have some fun with this thing this morning. Well, this evening. So it's already evening. Um, y'all, spam the chat, y'all, where y'all coming from, and if y'all want to say Merry Christmas or you know what I'm saying, tell us what you got for Christmas. Y'all spam the chat, man. Just spam the chat. So we in here. Um,
You are watching a master at work.
let's go.
Look at that one. Look at that one. Know they like the sky?
We reacting to the sauce, y'all. The sauce.
All them damn lights on. They got them all in the one. Do you see it? Oh, look at that. That's nice. I know they build high as hell. They got them things blowing up. Them things be running all night. Oh, hell no. Oh, they got lights all up in the damn tree. I wonder if they use the day power or the city power. Now look at all them damn decorations. They gonna take them forever to take all that down. Hell no, I wouldn't never put that much stuff up. They gonna never be able to take that down. Now I can do that right there. That's simple. They got two little reindeer. Oh, it moving? I don't need no automated nothing going on. Hell no. That's gotta be.
Somebody in the comment section was like, this is how you look at Christmas lights when you become an adult and have to pay bills.
Hey yo, thanks for tuning into the song. Your source for celebrity moves, current events, hip hop, pop culture, politics, gossip, and more.
Let's go. Let's go.
Holidays until you've seen Garden Lights Holiday Nights at the Atlanta Botanical Garden. Get tickets now.
Simple. I only pay $10 a month for my internet connection. Fast, unlimited, anywhere.
Have you heard about Ryoko Pro? This is the cutting-edge portable Wi-Fi hotspot that people wish they found out about sooner. With this pocket Wi-Fi, you can simply stay connected whether you're working, traveling, or simply on...
Thanks for tuning into The Source, your source for celebrity news. Check this out. I want to wish everybody out there a happy, healthy, and restful holiday full of prosperity and love. Hopefully, you got everything you asked for, but if you didn't, I'm going to let you know you already have everything you need. Now, check this out. After Nicki Minaj went full MAGA at Amfest...
That's how my Christmas went. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I got everything I want, need, more than what I actually need. I got everything I actually want. So basically it was about the kids, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't even about me or nothing like that, but yeah. And I got the drip, got the diamonds, you know. That's how we rocking.
2025 by buddying up with Erica Kirk to praise Donald Trump and J.D. Vance. She received a lot of backlash, and now even more celebrities are sharing their opinions. As a matter of fact, check out what Lizzo and Luke from 2 Live Crew had to say about Nicki Minaj.
So I'm getting texts like about Nicki, and I'm like, what are you talking about? I didn't even know. Then
damn, Lizzo lost a lot of damn weight. God damn, her face skinny as hell now.
You know, I researched
She looked better without all the weight on her. I ain't gonna lie, she do look
all what's going on. And I'm gonna say it like this. Celebrities' opinions of other celebrities.
She a pretty girl to me though. She a pretty I like the one she was heavy set. Lizzo is a beautiful woman. Now she be acting ratchet at times, but hey. She young, so she get a pass.
Does not matter. I'm telling you, it doesn't matter. So my opinion of her does not matter. But what I will tell you is you're about to see an influx of people who see that it is more profitable and more beneficial to join that side. You're gonna see it. It already started, and it's gonna continue. This is his first year. This is Trump's first year as president. We got 3 more years of people who are going to surprise you. And it's going to hurt your feelings and it's going to disappoint you. And you have to know that, like, there's money behind everything. There are privileges behind every move people in these positions make. And I'm not surprised.
Rob, Nicki Minaj. Nicki, some of these women, they lonely for attention. They're lonely for attention. I'm trying to, Nicki Minaj, what the fuck are you doing? What the fuck are you doing? Can somebody talk to her in your camp? Are you still affiliated with somebody? Nicki Minaj, Turning Point? Do you really know what these people are all about?
She don't know.
You know what they're all about?
She just got the bag.
You know what they're on?
She
You
don't
can sit
know.
down there with
So look, y'all.
her wife.
She don't know what Turning Point is all about. If she would have known, I don't believe she would have went up there. You know what I'm saying? I don't believe she would have went up there, but hey, it is what it is.
These people have said everything in the world about black people. They literally target black people. Nicki, have you lost your fucking mind? Are you serious? I mean, you start with Cardi B, and I guess you need some more attention. Are you longing for attention, Nicki? Are you really longing for attention? So you see Nicki going after everybody who got a new album and want to talk shit, and now you over there with Charlie Kirk. It's like you're looking for attention right now, Nicki. Nicki, you're looking for attention. Kanye West go around with Trump, and you, Nicki, you want to go out here with Turning Point? You're sitting up there with her wife. Is this man, the founder of Turning Point, who's on the live, said you're a bad influence? What?
Stop buying generic Viagra if you're over 40. You qualify for 9 tablets of 100 milligram generic Viagra for just $7 with free shipping from Friday plans.
If you think it's a scam like my husband and I did at first, listen to this.
He just answered a few questions online, and 3 days later, his prescription was at our door. They even shipped it for free, so we only ended up paying $7 for everything. After he took 1 tablet, the results were incredible. It kicked in within 30 minutes and worked even better than the name brand.
Sitting on the stage with them. What are you doing, Nicki? Also, the white guy can say something negative about you, but when the black girl says something negative about you, you can lost your motherfucking mind. So you over there sitting down with them. What did they give you, Nicki?
Mel, what up?
You like Tariq Nasheed and all them, in my opinion, and giving them or whatever to then turn black people against black. Them people don't like black people.
Mel, what up? What up, everybody? Hit the like button, y'all.
They don't like you. They don't like your kind. The founder said it. He thinks you're a bad influence on black culture, people. And you over there fucking with these people? You need that much attention, Nicki?
So if y'all don't know, they talking about Nicki Minaj right about now.
Don't do a fucking record, Nicki. You're too talented, you're too bright, you're too smart to know that you have no business fucking with them people. Absolutely no business with the people.
Now, after Luke and Lizzo said what they had to say, Dr. Umar also had something to say.
What bothers me about my sister, and I still love and respect her, And I'm going to hope that she engages in some corrective behavior, because this is insane. This is absolutely insane to see such a talented, beautiful black woman build her career through black culture by way of the hip hop movement, become a multi-millionaire, one of the top selling artists of this century, and to use black culture to build your career and then turn around and use the platform that was created through black culture and hip hop, and now you're going to use your platform and your prominence within our culture to work against the progress of black people by joining Donald Trump, J.D. Vance, Erica Kirk, Turning Point USA against the best interests of black people. It's bothersome.
All right, so as you can see, Dr. Umar says that what Nikki did is bothersome, but somebody who thinks that it's a little worse than bothersome is Joe Budden, because Joe Budden was like, you know what, that's it, I'm getting off the train. He's circulating Cardi B videos like this.
I know the White House watches my
platform.
There's a president that he knows that I'm never supporting him and stuff. I try to give people a warning, and it's like, it is what it is. Like, it's like, people thought it was funny, people made fun of my accent, people made fun of my speech, people forgot that people this and that. And it's like, y'all gonna see what's funny. Shit ain't funny right now, isn't it? It's really tough out here. It's really tough out here. Like, it's really rough out here for everybody. You know what I'm saying? I try to warn y'all. I'm no police, so it's like, what can I do to help y'all? I can't do nothing. My hands is in my hat, deep in it. America is in a very bad place.
Now,
I wonder what next year gonna bring, what 2026 is gonna bring. Like, how is the world gonna change? What's gonna happen? Like, I just want to know. Like, but I'm ready to see it. God willing, I make it the next year.
one of the statements that Nicki Minaj said that's got a lot of people up in arms is that she tried to make it seem as if black people trying to make white women with blonde hair and blue eyes downplay their beauty so that black women can feel better about themselves.
That we were not being represented and not being admired for our beauty. If we felt like that as black women, why would we want to do that to other women? Why would we now need to make other people downplay their beauty so that we can feel, no, that's not how it works. I don't need someone with blonde hair and blue eyes to downplay their beauty because I know my beauty. Do you understand? It doesn't bother me that a woman feels and says that she's beautiful.
All right, so after Nicki Minaj said that, J.D. Vance jumped online and he said, Nicki Minaj said something at AmFest that was so profound. I'm paraphrasing, but she said, just because I want little black girls to think they're beautiful doesn't mean I need to put down little girls with blonde hair and blue eyes. Let me ask you guys something. What black person, or should I say black woman, do you know that has been running around putting down little blonde-haired girls with blue eyes? I can't think of one. And as a matter of fact, the only person who I can think of who has recently been online calling other kids ugly is Nicki Minaj. Now, what we have done is promote and continue the legacy of the Black is Beautiful movement, a cultural movement that emerged in the 1960s and was founded by brothers Kwame Brathwaite and Alambe Brath, along with other members of AJAZ, aka African Jazz Art Society and Studios, including artists Christopher Asamandizi Hall, who used photography, fashion, and art to encourage the celebration of African aesthetics and challenge the dominance of Eurocentric beauty standards in mainstream society. And despite what people like Nicki Minaj may think, the goal of the Black Beautiful movement was not to diminish nor criticize white women, which it never did, but instead to empower black people by affirming the beauty of black natural hair, darker skin tones, and African-inspired styles. The Black is Beautiful movement promoted pride in African heritage and sought to reshape how black bodies were perceived in a society that often marginalized them and viewed them as pickaninnies and primates.
AJAS was founded in 1956 in Harlem, New York, by a group of black artists, activists, and intellectuals who were passionate about reclaiming black identity through art, culture, and Pan-Africanism. The founding members included Alambe Brath, Kwame Brathwaite, and other like-minded creatives who believed that art could be used as a tool for liberation. The group was inspired by African nationalism, jazz culture, and the global anti-colonial movements happening at the time. They were heavily influenced by thinkers like Marcus Garvey and the teachings of the UNIA, Universal Negro Improvement Association.
Nature Made, the #1 pharmacist recommended vitamin and supplement brand.
Find your SpongeBob crew at Burger King. AJAS used photography, fashion, jazz music, and visual art to uplift and empower the Black community. Their philosophy was rooted in "Black is beautiful," a slogan they popularized before it became mainstream. They created their own cultural spaces, organizing fashion shows, music events, and community forums to promote self-love, racial pride, and artistic excellence. One of their most powerful creations was the Grandassa models, a direct response to Eurocentric beauty standards. This initiative brought visibility to natural Black beauty and became a cultural landmark in the Black Pride movement of the 1960s.
Harambe Braff, Kwame Brathwaite, Chris Esmond, Nieces Hall, Jimmy Abu, Frank Adu, Bob Gums.
We would like to shine a spotlight on a group of brothers who came together in 1956 to form an organization that was later known as the African Jazz Art Society Studios in the Bronx, New York. AJAS, pioneers of the Black is Beautiful movement.
See, Nicki Minaj has it twisted because we have never disrespected nor devalued the European standard of beauty, and we sure as hell have not said anything about how blonde-haired, blue-eyed children look. But what we have had to do, and what the founders of the Black is Beautiful movement did, is contradict the notion that Black is synonymous with ugly. And they also created a culture in which we celebrate and can celebrate our natural beauty. So when our children look in the mirror, they don't feel a need to adhere to European standards of beauty, but instead they can look in the mirror, look at themselves just as they are, and say, "Oh my goodness, I am beautiful." So, yes, Nicki got it twisted and she got it backwards. Anyhow, let me know what you think about everything that we discussed in today's video, and while you're down there leaving a comment, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel and share this video with your friends. Hey yo, thanks for tuning in to The Source, your source for celebrity news.
Y'all check out The Source. Good channel, man. They got some good stuff on there. Y'all need to go back and watch the older videos. They got a lot of good stuff on there. I had to go to the archives. Let's see what Panda Press got. I had to go to the archives. I don't know. Let's check out this brother, the Art of Dialogue. Umar on there. It's something about him and 50 Cent. So let's see. I guess 50 Cent clapped back at him or something. So let's see what's going on. Y'all check out.
Garden Lights shines with new features and familiar favorites through January 11th. Get tickets today.
Y'all check out The Art of Dialogue. That's what we reacting to right now.
Choose to get every detail.
Two-part question I want to ask you. How do you feel about the documentary on Diddy? And you and 50, what's going on between both y'all? Me personally, the documentary was incredible, man. You know, shout out to 50, man. But I know you and 50, y'all got something going on, right?
Indeed. So originally, when I heard about the reckoning of Sean Diddy Combs' documentary that was produced by 50 Cent, I wasn't going to watch it. And
a little fun small fact. I know y'all done heard me say this maybe 1,000 times now. Diddy has 140 more hours unreleased footage that 9 times out of 10 is going into future docs. So
I wasn't going to watch it because, quite frankly, I had grown a little tired of the Diddy case. I had followed it, I had studied it, I had researched it. And at this point, the man was sentenced to 50 months in jail, I believe the time was that the feds gave him. There really wasn't much left to talk about. Everything had already been put out there, all the hours of testimony, hundreds of hours of court proceedings. It was nothing else to talk about as far as I was concerned. And then people kept texting me. They said, Dr. Umar, you got to see this, you got to see this, you got to see this. So one night, I can't go to sleep. And I decided to go ahead and watch it, and I watched all the episodes. I will say that it appeared to be very well researched from the point.
I ain't seen it yet, but I'm gonna break down and watch it.
The view that 50 Cent wanted to portray. I don't think it was balanced in that you didn't hear anything positive at all about the man, when in fact, despite the horrendous deeds, which cannot be excused at all, I still think it would have been a little bit more credible if it was a little bit more balanced. But with that being said, the documentary was done, and after watching it, well, the first thing I'm gonna say is 50 Cent does a good job with documentaries. Putting the fact that I did not appreciate a black man kicking another black man who's already down, putting that to the side, he did a good job with the documentary.
Man, Diddy's still up. When he get out of prison, man, Diddy coming back to millions of dollars. He's still up, bro. He taking a little two year hiatus, man. Diddy ain't hurting at all, bro.
Like, I could see 50 Cent doing more of these. Now, I was on a stream here in Philly a couple weeks ago with a young brother, and the question came up, and I said that, in my opinion, watching that documentary was an exercise in self-hatred. Because it was. Whenever black people tear down black people, especially when they've already been torn down, it's self-hate. Because we never show that energy with no other community.
I don't agree with him like that. I don't agree with him with that one. Because I feel like, shit. I mean, ain't nobody had no smoke for TMZ and everybody else when they wanted to do their documentary. They didn't have no smoke. They just watched it and shut up. But when it come to 50, because I guess he's black and he's doing it, I mean,
we have been done wrong so much and so often by Caucasians. And yet we never do a documentary on them. Do you realize, Art, there hasn't been a single documentary done on the police who have unalived all of these innocent, unarmed black people? Where's the documentary on the police officer who killed Tommy Rice? Where's the documentary on the police officers who murdered Breonna Taylor? Where's the documentary on the police officers who murdered Sonia Mancy or Sandra Bland or Freddie Gray or Philando Castile or Alton Sterling or Amir Pope? Look at all of this that has been done to us. Where's the documentary on the Roman Catholic Church and all the black children they allowed to be sexually abused? Where's the documentary on that? Where's the documentary on the economic devastation of black people by whites? I don't just mean Tulsa of 100 years ago. I mean right here, right now. We never have smoke for our real enemies, but we are always ready and willing to tear down another black person. Now, with that being said, Art,
on ESPN, it's always championship season.
I have to say this in fairness to 50 Cent. With that being said, I have to say this in fairness to 50 Cent. When I learned, allegedly, that Sean Combs had seduced, allegedly, and sexually exploited, although with her permission. When I learned that Sean Combs had seduced and sexually exploited one of 50 Cent's ex-girlfriends, possibly even a mother of one of his children, when I learned of that, I said, you know what? As much as I didn't appreciate the documentary, if I'm going to be fair and honest to Mr. Curtis Jackson, Art, he had a right to do the documentary. As much as I did not appreciate another slander doc on a famous black person, he had a right to do it, Art. If it is,
y'all check out. He basically saying, shit, hey man, you mess with my baby mama, bro. I got something for you. Y'all check out the Art of Dialogue. I'm not gonna do his whole video. I just wanted to check out a little piece of it, a little segment. But yeah, that's what Umar had to say about the whole 50 incident. And let me see. Let me keep going back.
Bruh, y'all keep asking the wrong question. It's not how this went on so long. It's why nobody opened their mouth. And I'ma say it plain. People weren't scared of Diddy. They were scared of what talking would cost them. Careers, connections, silence checks. And once I break down how this industry really works, you gonna realize something uncomfortable. The system didn't fail. Built to do. Let's get this straight first. People keep saying everyone was scared. Nah, that's the lazy explanation. This wasn't fear, this was leverage. Real leverage. Career-ending leverage. When you're in an industry where one phone call decides if you eat next year, you don't need to threaten anybody. Silence becomes automatic.
it's the biggest piece of dog shit.
And that's why the quiet wasn't random. It was organized. Even if nobody ever sat in the room and planned it. Because once you realize who controls distribution, budgets, rollouts, features, tours,
if you ask them what flavor green I got, Mountain Lion Kush.
realize talking isn't brave, it's expensive.
Wayfair, we're game for every style.
Let's play charades. I like that.
Smoking that
Here's the
Mountain
part
Lion
nobody wants
Kush
to
in that
admit.
bitch.
Some people weren't silent because they were innocent. They were silent because they were connected. Hold that thought. We're gonna circle back to it. Here's where folks mess up. They imagine power as yelling, intimidation, muscle. Nah. Real power whispers. Real power makes you think it was your idea to stay quiet. If you've ever been invited into rooms you weren't supposed to be in, things you weren't supposed to see, or benefited from access other people never got, you need a warning. You already know the rules. And that's why the silence lasted so long. Because nobody wanted to be the first domino. Everyone thought, let someone else go first. Problem is, when everybody thinks that, nothing ever moves until something breaks. And once it breaks, it doesn't crack, it snaps. We're getting close to that part. This is where it gets interesting. People ask, why now? Like this came out of nowhere. It didn't. Timing isn't about truth. It's about safety. When power shifts, silence loosens. When protection fades, courage magically appears. Funny how that works. And notice how once one piece slipped out, suddenly everybody had concerns, statements, context. That's not coincidence. That's permission. People don't speak when they're protected. They speak when protection is gone.
Damn.
And that tells you something important about who had it and who just lost it. We're not even at the deepest layer yet. Here's the part people keep misunderstanding. Leverage doesn't always mean crimes. Sometimes it's just embarrassment with consequences. You don't need cuffs. You don't need charges. You just need footage nobody wants their family, label, or sponsor to ever see. And once that exists, nobody has to threaten you. You threaten yourself. That's why certain people stayed extra quiet. Not because they did something criminal, but because they did something stupid in the wrong room. And when your career depends on image, stupid can be just as deadly. Keep that in mind. It explains a lot of behavior we've been watching. You ever notice how everybody suddenly has bad memory? I wasn't there. I don't recall. I never witnessed anything personally.
Do you see me fucking laughing, mother?
That's not denial. That's legal instinct. When silence is safer than honesty, people train themselves not to see, not to hear, not to remember. And the wild part, after doing it long enough, they actually believe it. That's how systems protect themselves.
What is he doing?
He's beginning to believe.
Not with lies, but with
Beginning
selective
to
blindness.
believe that.
And once that blindness becomes normal, breaking it feels like betrayal. That's why when someone does talk now, the response isn't relief, it's anger. We're gonna get to why. Pay attention to the energy right now. It's not shock, it's not heartbreak, it's not even moral outrage. It's defensive. Statements sound calculated. Support feels cautious. Distance is being created publicly. That's because people aren't reacting to what happened. They're reacting to what might come next. And when folks start pre-distancing themselves, that's usually a sign they're worried about receipts, not rumors. Nobody wants to be standing too close when the next layer peels back. And trust me, layers don't stop peeling.
Hey, so this remind me of the whole thing with Kendrick and Drake, and when what's his name? J. Cole, when J. Cole jumped out the window. And I don't know if he heard these songs that was finna come out on Drake, but that nigga apologized. I'm talking about immediately. That nigga said, I love you, Kendrick. That nigga said, I love you, Kendrick. I'm sorry. Baby, hold me. I'm just joking, but he did apologize, though.
Once they start, this is where people get on.
It was at the Dreamville Festival in North Carolina. That's where he apologized to Kendrick at. And after that, it was history, dog. It was one of the biggest, best rap battles of maybe of my time.
Comfortable. Because it's easier to believe in one bad guy than a broken system. But
this man beat this man in a rap battle. Had a pop-out concert. Got signed a deal with Gatorade. Got a new company, Square. Perform at the Super Bowl. I mean, go on a world tour, not his girls tour.
Systems don't survive decades
Crazy,
on accidents. They survive on incentives. If silence gets rewarded, silence spreads. If speaking gets punished, truth disappears. And that's why this moment matters more than the headlines. Not because of what's already out, but because of what hasn't been said yet. Once people realize silence no longer protects them, everything changes. We're right at that edge now. Here's the part people keep missing. Silence doesn't break because of morality. It breaks because of math, power math. When protection weakens, when alliances expire, when people stop returning calls, that's when mouths open. And notice, the people speaking now aren't doing it out of bravery. They're doing it because the cost benefit flipped. Staying quiet used to be cheaper. Now silence is starting to look risky. And when self-preservation switches sides, truth suddenly finds a microphone. That's why this moment feels different. Not louder, more strategic. Let's address the elephant in the room. If this story was fully exposed, certain names would already be out. They're not. Some people are still calculating. Some
people shivering in their boots right now that they don't get. See, 50 got the ball in his court right now, and he like a young Shea Alexander with that bitch out there, for real.
Still protected. Some are still waiting to see who falls first, because speaking too early can still cost you, but speaking too late can bury you. That's the tightrope they're on right now. So when you see half statements, vague distancing, or sudden silence from familiar faces, that's not confusion. That's people waiting to see which direction the wind locks in. And once it locks, you're going to hear a lot of voices that were busy before. This part right here is the most dangerous. Exposure fades, memory doesn't. Once people remember how silence was rewarded, they start questioning everything they were told to ignore. Who rose too fast, who disappeared quietly, who always landed on their feet. That's why this story has legs. Not because of one statement, but because it reopens old questions nobody once revisited. And when memory comes back online, it doesn't just target one person, it redraws the whole map. That's when real panic starts. Here's where people get uncomfortable. Because once you admit this pattern exists here, you gotta ask where else it exists. Music didn't invent leverage. Hollywood didn't either. Politics didn't either. They all borrowed the same playbook. Access, secrets, loyalty tests. And once someone realizes, oh, this wasn't chaos, this was a system, you can't unsee it. That's why the reactions feel weirdly muted in some spaces. Not outrage, containment. Because if the conversation widens just a little more, it stops being about one name and starts being about how power actually moves. That's the real fear. Let me say this carefully.
And the reason why I keep doing this shit over and over and over again is because we could still learn something through picking this stuff apart, because it's like the words that he's speaking are powerful.
This story isn't heading toward a neat ending. No movie style justice, no clean villain exit, no case closed moment. What's coming is slower and messier. People distancing without explaining, partnerships quietly dissolving, narratives getting rewritten in real time. And years from now, folks are gonna swear they always knew. But right now, they're still choosing silence where it benefits them. That's how you know it's not over. Because when a story is truly done, nobody's afraid to talk anymore. Look, what this whole situation really teaches you ain't just about Diddy or footage or Netflix or executives. It's about how silence is bought. Not always with money, sometimes with access, sometimes with fear, sometimes with don't rock the boat. And once people realize staying quiet keeps their life easier, they stay quiet. That's the part nobody wants to admit. Because the moment you understand that, you stop asking, why didn't they speak up? And you start asking, who benefits from them not speaking? And trust me, that question don't just apply here. So let me ask you this. Do you think people stayed silent because they were scared, or because silence was the price of staying powerful? I want to hear what you think.
Next. Same channel, Panda Press.
The beach is the only place where they get along. Now imagine them getting a...
Maybe. Bruh, I thought this Diddy documentary drama was already made. Psych! Turns out, nah. Now Dr. Umar stepped in, and he didn't come quiet. He basically said 50 Cent crossed the line.
I saw the Diddy documentary. Here's what I'm gonna say about the Diddy documentary. And I have no problem with black people holding black people accountable. I'm having a problem with black people needing to expose black people that in-depthly. Yeah. But you never expose white people who do things to black people.
That this whole documentary feels like self-hate dressed up as accountability. And here's where it gets tricky, because I know many don't rock with Dr. Umar like that.
I beg your pardon.
Especially with the whole school situation. But some of what he said, it hit a nerve people don't want to touch. So the real question is 50 exposing truth, or is this something else entirely? Because once you hear what Dr. Umar actually said and how 50 responded, this ain't just about Diddy anymore. Bruh, before people start screaming sellout or protecting monsters, let's slow this down for half a second. Dr. Umar's main point wasn't free Diddy. Nah, that's not what he said. What he actually said was, this feels like selective exposure. Like black figures get the deep forensic breakdown, while white institutions with way longer rap sheets somehow dodge that same energy. He brought up Epstein, He brought up the Catholic Church, not to excuse Diddy, but to question why certain monsters get documentaries and others get footnotes.
The Roman Catholic Church has taken advantage of way more children than R. Kelly allegedly did.
Right.
Are you following me?
I'm following you.
Jeffrey Epstein has taken advantage of way more women than Sean Combs allegedly did. But where is the documentary on Epstein by black people?
Shit, I don't even know. Like, I can't even tell you that. Like,
where's the documentary on the Roman Catholic Church as excesses on black people?
I've never seen it.
You see what I'm saying? So to me, the 50 Cent documentary, again, respect the 50, no issues there, it is an example of self-hatred.
Gotcha.
Gotcha. Disguised as community service. You see how that go? It looks like community service. No, it's not. That's self-hate.
And whether we like Umar or not, that question hit a nerve because a lot of folks felt it before they ever said it out loud. And that's why this blew up. Not because it was clean, because it was uncomfortable. Now let's really talk about timing. Because Dr. Umar didn't jump out early. He didn't leave word when accusations were still messy, unclear, and easy to dismiss. Nah, he waited until the documentary was already locked in, already viral, already stamped by Netflix, already backed by 50 Cent, a dude with money, reach, and zero fear of smoke. That matters, because Umar understands media cycles. He understands algorithms. He understands when a tape becomes a spark versus when it becomes gasoline. And stepping in after the doc hits #1, that's not random, that's strategy. Now here's the tricky part. Strategy doesn't automatically mean bad faith. Sometimes people wait because they want the full picture. Sometimes they wait because they don't want to speak into chaos. And sometimes they wait because that's when the microphone is loudest. So when Umar frames this as self-hatred disguised as accountability, he's not just critiquing Diddy coverage. He's critiquing who gets the long-form takedown and who doesn't. And whether you agree or not, that timing forced the conversation into a bigger lane. This stopped being Diddy is disgusting and turned into who decides which monsters get dissected in HD.
I've never seen it.
That's why this hit. Not because it was polite, but because it was inconvenient. Here's where people start shifting in their seats. Because if we're being honest, Umar didn't say something new. He said something people already felt, but didn't want to defend publicly. We've watched entire institutions abuse people for decades, quietly. We've watched scandals get settled with paperwork instead of documentaries. We've watched certain names disappear from headlines while others get entire cinematic universes built around their downfall. So when
that's true though. I mean, that is true, bro. Cause it's like this Diddy shit. This ain't the only documentary. That's why I'm like, why y'all got so much smoke for 50 on this documentary? Like, bro, this is not the only documentary that they did on Diddy. So why y'all so mad at 50?
Umar says, why does this get exposed like this? He's not saying don't expose. He's asking why exposure isn't evenly applied. That question makes people uncomfortable because it forces a mirror moment. Are we actually chasing justice, or are we chasing stories that are easier to sell? Now let me be clear, victims always matter, period. But there's a difference between accountability and content cannibalism. Some stories feel like truth-seeking, others feel like ritual humiliation dressed up as righteousness. And once you start noticing that pattern, you can't unsee it. That's the nerve Umar touched. Not defending Diddy, but interrogating the machine that decides how public punishment works. And that's why people reacted emotionally instead of analytically. Now here's where it gets ugly. Because the second Dr. Umar starts talking about accountability, the internet doesn't hear the argument. It hears the receipts he hasn't answered. The school, the money, the timelines.
So it's like, yeah, like, bro, you gotta handle your own, gotta sweep around your own front door before you sweep around mine, buddy.
You're showing me how unserious you are.
You cannot stand on a moral podium while your own foundation is cracked and expect people to stay focused on the message. That doesn't mean your point is invalid, but it absolutely means your credibility is on probation. So instead of debating the idea, people attack the man. Instead of discussing selective exposure, people say build the school. Instead of asking hard questions, they turn it into jokes and memes. And once that happens, the conversation is over. Not because the argument lost, but because the messenger became the distraction.
And you know what though? That's typically how the bullshit goes, you feel me?
That's the tragedy of this moment. Because Umar might be asking a question worth discussing, but he's asking it from a position people no longer trust. And in media culture, trust determines whether your words spark dialogue or get clowned into silence. Here's what a lot of people missed. 50 didn't argue with Dr. Umar. He didn't counter the points. He didn't break down the logic. He told him to shut up. And that wasn't emotional. That was intentional. Because 50 understands something very simple. Debating gives legitimacy. And 50 does not legitimize people he believes are unserious or compromised. By refusing to engage, 50 framed Umar not as an intellectual opponent, but as background noise. A man yelling from the crowd while the machine keeps moving. That's power dynamics 101. When you're confident in your position, you don't explain, you dismiss. You don't argue, you proceed. And that response told us exactly how 50 sees this situation. This isn't about race politics. This isn't about community optics. This is about exposure, money, leverage, and control. And 50 has never pretended to be anything other than a businessman with receipts and grudges. Let's be honest for a second. 50 Cent is not a moral crusader. He's not Malcolm X. He's not a community healer. He's a strategist. And that doesn't make the documentary fake. It makes it profitable and personal. 50 and Diddy have history, power struggles, gatekeeping accusations, industry scars. So when 50 backs a documentary like this, two things can be true at the same time. It can expose real, necessary information, and it can be fueled by personal vendetta and business opportunity. People struggle with that duality because they want heroes and villains, not complicated humans. But the real world doesn't work like that. 50 saw a moment where truth, timing, revenge, and money all aligned, and he took it. That doesn't invalidate the victims. It just means the messenger is not pure. And maybe purity was never the requirement.
I don't want peace. I want problems, always.
This is where the discourse keeps breaking down. Every time someone critiques how the story is told, people hear it as defending who the story is about. And those are not the same thing. You can believe Diddy deserves accountability and still question the media ecosystem that decides who gets dissected, how deeply, and for how long. But once race enters the frame, nuance gets sacrificed for loyalty tests. You're either for the culture or against it, either protecting black men or caping for abusers. That binary kills real discussion. What Umar touched, clumsily, is that exposure itself has politics. Who funds it, who platforms it, who benefits from it. That doesn't excuse crimes, it contextualizes power. And the moment we stop separating those ideas is the moment discourse turns into shouting matches instead of analysis.
Where is my driver?
Diddy is already cooked in the court of public opinion. This documentary didn't start that fire. It poured gasoline on it. But what we're really watching now is something bigger, a power shift. People who were once untouchable are becoming content. Fear is being replaced by footage. Silence is being replaced by algorithms. And that scares a lot of people, not just celebrities, but institutions. Because once exposure becomes normalized, nobody knows who's next. That's why this debate feels so heated. It's not about defending Diddy. It's about defending the old rules. And those rules are breaking loudly. This is the part nobody wants to sit with. People want a clean moral story, a villain, a hero, a side to stand on. But this situation refuses to give that. Diddy can be wrong. The victims can be real. The documentary can be necessary. And the way it's being packaged, promoted, and monetized can still raise questions. That makes people uneasy because it forces them to think instead of react. And thinking is uncomfortable when the internet rewards certainty, not nuance. So instead of engaging with the argument, people pick a team. If you question the doc, you're defending Diddy. If you support the doc, you hate black men. Both takes are lazy. What Dr. Umar unintentionally exposed is that we're bad at holding multiple truths at once. And 50 exposed something else. That in this era, who controls the narrative matters as much as what the narrative says.
Yep.
This isn't a one video moment, because this documentary isn't the end. It's the beginning. More footage, more interviews, more people feeling brave enough to talk, more silence being interpreted as guilt. And every time a new piece drops, the same question will come back. Who gets exposed like this and who never does? That question doesn't disappear just because it's uncomfortable. It gets louder. That's why this hit a nerve. Not because Umar defended Diddy, not because 50 is messy, but because both of them touch different sides of the same uncomfortable truth. Power decides what accountability looks like, and power is shifting. So now I want to hear from you. Forget the personalities for a second. Forget liking or disliking Dr. Umar. Forget how you feel about 50. Do you think documentaries like this are pure accountability? Or do you think there's a line where exposure turns into spectacle? And more importantly, if this level of deep dive is justified for Diddy, should it be the standard for everyone? Or is this just how power collapses in public now? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Don't just pick a side, explain it. Because whether we like it or not, this conversation isn't over. If you enjoyed this breakdown, you'll probably enjoy the one that just popped up on your screen right now. Click now, and I'll see you there. Panda out.
I read that one. Which one was this one? 13 days ago. 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago. 1 month ago. 3 months ago. Let me put in search filters. This week. We'll put this week. Might have to do this one.
Popular. Olay Super Serum Body Wash is popular for good reason. With 5 supercharged ingredients.
Bruh, why does it feel like every time I open my phone, 50 Cent is beefing with another grown man? First it's Diddy, then Dr. Umar jumps in, then French Montana catches a stray, Fab's name gets dragged, and somehow everybody who stayed quiet is suddenly uncomfortable. And what's wild is, this ain't random. 50 isn't just trolling, he's testing loyalty, he's forcing sides, and he's dragging stuff people hoped would stay buried. Because once one loud dude starts talking, everybody else's silence gets real loud. And trust me, by the end of this, you're gonna see why some of these names wish 50 would just stop posting, but he won't. Bruh, people keep acting like 50 just woke up one day bored. Nah, this is timing, precision. This is someone who's seen how these stories end and decided, I'm not waiting for the cleanup phase. Because let me tell you something, when the industry thinks the storm is dying down, that's usually when the real damage starts. That's when people get nervous. That's when phones stop ringing. That's when favors stop getting returned. And 50, he knows cycles. He's watched too many untouchables go from legend to liability real quick. So instead of whispering behind the scenes, he's laughing in public.
Me personally, I wouldn't take this level of disrespect.
Why? Because once people start laughing at you instead of defending for you, it's already cooked. The respect is gone. And don't miss this. He's not reacting emotionally. He's isolating, making it socially expensive to say, yeah, but that's chess, not rage. Now this part, this is where it went left. Dr. Umar came in trying to moralize the moment, and the internet does not like lectures anymore, especially when they sound like detours, because the contradiction was loud. You can't scream protect the community while dodging harm inside the community. People clock that instantly. And here's the part folks missed. 50 didn't even have to clap back hard. He let the silence do the work. Let the comments marinate. Let the awkwardness sit. Because online, The worst thing you can be is someone talking around the issue instead of through it. The moment Umar entered the frame, he stopped being an observer and became part of the story. And that's never
Damn, son.
Ever. Let's be real for a second. This ain't about 50 being too loud. It's about choice. Silence used to be neutral. Not anymore. When allegations stack, when people speak, when footage exists, staying quiet starts looking like alignment. That's why folks get uncomfortable. Not angry, uncomfortable. Because now they got to decide if they're protecting truth or protecting access. So what happens? Deflection. Why now? Why him? Why like this? All delay tactics. All noise. 50 isn't answering those questions because he knows something simple. Truth doesn't need perfect timing. It just needs daylight. And once the lights come on, everybody who benefited from the dark starts scrambling. This is the part people really don't get. 50 never tries to convince you someone is guilty. He convinces you someone is weird to defend. That's the play. He drops clips that make you squint, moments that make you uncomfortable, stuff that makes you go,
Wait a minute. Who are you?
yo, why does this even exist? Because
Hey, I
once
gotta
someone
get that.
feels
I
that
gotta get
discomfort,
this. Wait
they
a
don't
minute.
need instructions.
Who are you?
And notice, he's not just aiming at Diddy. He's tagging everybody in the radius. French, Fab, media voices, commentators. Why? Because power doesn't survive alone. It survives through proximity. So when 50 shakes the tree, he's not counting apples. He's watching who falls. And trust me, some names haven't even hit the ground yet. All right, this is where people start getting real quiet. Because notice, 50 didn't accuse. He reminded. Old clips, old moments, old energy. And that's dangerous. Because nostalgia hits harder than allegations. When you show people how comfortable someone looked back then, you don't have to say anything else. French Montana smiling, Fab joking, Diddy moving loose. Nobody's saying this means guilt. What it means is you were there. And right now, being there is a liability. That's why those names sting. Because silence would have passed. But receipts age badly when the room temperature changes. And 50 knows, the internet doesn't forget vibes, ever. Let me say this clearly. This is not trolling. This is repositioning history. 50 isn't fighting people. He's editing the narrative in real time. He's deciding who gets remembered as adjacent versus untouched. And once that line gets drawn, brands notice, platforms notice, lawyers notice. Because nobody wants to be on the wrong side of a documentary timeline. Nobody wants their name popping up in episode 4 like, and then there was this guy. That's why people are nervous. Not because 50 is loud, because he's early. And early is always scarier than late. Now, Ray J, this is painful to watch. Because there's a difference between crashing out and controlling the narrative. And right now, he's doing the first one. 50 never begs the internet to believe him. Ray J keeps yelling for validation.
Ray J is the shit that Ray J was doing to me was kind of just cappish. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just want to get up there and say something, bro. That's it. All right, basically, I'm like, man, sit your ass down some goddamn way, bro.
Damn, son.
And the internet is cruel. They reward clarity, not chaos. They don't care how emotional you are. They care how clean your point is. That's why 50 looks calm while everybody else looks frantic. One man is playing offense. Everybody else is reacting. And reactions always look guilty, even when they're not. Here's the uncomfortable truth. When the top figure starts falling, everyone who benefited from the ecosystem gets audited. Socially, not legally, yet. People start asking questions they never asked before. Who knew what? Who stayed silent? Who laughed too loud? And 50 is accelerating that process on purpose. Because once people start answering those questions publicly, the machine breaks. No more unified silence. No more we'll handle it privately. No more pretending this was all rumors. That's why this moment feels chaotic. Because it is. This is the sound of a circle cracking. Not from the outside, but from pressure inside. Here's where it flips. A year ago, silence was protection. Now, silence looks like alignment. Because when 50 keeps swinging and you say nothing, people don't think you're neutral. They think you're hoping it blows over. And hope is not a strategy in the documentary era. The internet doesn't read silence as maturity anymore. It reads it as, my lawyer told me to shut up. So every quiet artist right now is doing mental math. Speak and risk backlash, or stay quiet and let the timeline speak for you. Either way, somebody's name is getting dragged. Pay attention to this part. 50 never sounds angry. He sounds amused. And that's intentional. Because anger makes you look emotional. Humor makes you look untouchable. When you laugh while exposing people, it sends a different message. I'm not scared of what you know about me. That's power language. It's the same tactic comedians use when they roast elites. If you clap back too hard, you look guilty. If you ignore it, it sticks. So 50 jokes, and lets the internet do the rest. That's not trolling, that's strategy.
See, 50 and I read the 48 Laws of Power. 50 actually knows Robert Greene personally. They wrote a book together called The 50th Law of Power. So, yeah, 50 know how to. That's what I'm saying, bro. Y'all don't fuck with 50, bro. Leave him alone, bro. If y'all want to survive and make it in this world, don't fuck with 50.
For a second, lawsuits come and go. Settlements happen. PR teams spin. But culture doesn't forget. What's happening right now is cultural exposure, not legal exposure. And cultural exposure is worse because it changes who gets invited into rooms. Suddenly, people don't want to be photographed together.
What if your dream was to build the fastest car ever? But then when you got older, what if you realized the world needed something more adventurous?
Let's get quieter. Old friendships turn into no comment. This is how industries clean themselves without admitting anything. They don't cancel you, they stop calling. And that hurts way longer than court. This one, Dr. Umar didn't attack the facts. He attacked the messenger. And that's always a losing move. Because when victims exist, arguing why are you exposing this sounds like deflection, even if that wasn't the intention. The internet doesn't hear nuance, trauma is involved. They hear protection. And once people think you're protecting power instead of people, your message gets buried under suspicion. That's why 50 didn't debate him. He dismissed him because debate gives legitimacy. Dismissal ends conversations. Now let me plant this thought. People think 50 is done. I don't. This feels like phase 1, testing reactions, seeing who panics, watching who over-explains. Because the next wave, if it comes, won't be jokes. It'll be patterns. And patterns are harder to explain away than clips. That's why some folks are laying low right now. They're not hiding from the internet, they're hiding from connections. And connections are what end careers quietly. Let me land this clean. This isn't about 50 being messy. It's about power shifting hands. The era of don't ask questions, just respect the legend is done. People want receipts, timelines, and accountability, even if it's uncomfortable. And once that door opens, it never closes all the way. So yeah, this looks like entertainment, but underneath it, this is a warning shot to an entire generation of gatekeepers. And some of them know it. Here's the part people don't like to admit. This whole moment isn't about who's right or wrong online. It's about what happens when fear stops working. For years, silence was currency, access was leverage, and power lived in private rooms. Now, cameras, clips, and culture don't care about your legacy. They care about patterns. What we're watching isn't a collapse. It's exposure by erosion. Nobody kicked the door down. Nobody yelled. People just stopped protecting. And once protection disappears, everything starts sliding on its own. That's why jokes land harder than threats right now. That's why humor is louder than anger. And that's why some people are way more nervous than they're letting on. So don't get distracted by the memes, the trolling, or the personalities. The real shift is this. The old rules aren't being enforced anymore. And when rules disappear, truth doesn't rush out. It leaks, slowly, relentlessly, until there's nothing left to hold together. Now I gotta ask you, do you think 50 is done? Or is this just a warm-up before more names start feeling uncomfortable? If this one hit, make sure you watch the video popping up on your
sound like somebody burning something.
Bruh, I need y'all to listen real close because right now, the streets are saying Diddy is flexing from prison.
Huh?
Yeah, prison. They want us to believe he's still making millions, still running things, still untouchable.
But that's one thing I do wonder. Is he still making money? Like, is he making any money while he's in prison? I'm just saying, it's like the Bad Boy catalog, whatever he owns, does the feds get that money, or does that go to his mother in that bank account? Like, how does that work? I don't know.
You are a black boy and I'm not an idiot. Do you understand that part yet? Hello, goodbye, black boy.
But here's the thing nobody's saying out loud yet. This flex might actually be the clearest sign he's losing control. And once you see why this story even exists, you're gonna realize this ain't confidence, it's panic. All right, let's start with the obvious question nobody's asking. Why now? Why is this story popping up right now? That Diddy is allegedly making millions from prison, renting out a jet, still moving like a boss. Because this didn't come from nowhere. This didn't just...
Now, I did watch a video where they were saying that Diddy's jet, because you know he owned a jet, they saying his jet keep moving around while he's in prison. So, and Kanye was like, said that wasn't him in jail and his jet still moving around. And
this was placed. See, real wealth doesn't announce itself. Real power doesn't whisper through blogs. But when someone needs people to believe they still have money, that's usually when the money is under threat. And notice the framing, still rich, still running things, still untouchable.
But it's true. None of it's true. None of it's true. It's BS. They made it up. They lied.
That's not accounting. That's
nigga Michael Jackson,
which tells me something
Michael
shifted
Jackson
behind the
said they
scenes
lied.
recently. And whatever it was, it scared somebody. And trust me, we'll get to what scared them in a minute. Now let's talk about this jet nonsense, because the headline sounds crazy on purpose. Diddy making millions renting out his private jet from prison.
So that was a fucking lie.
Bruh, think for 1 second. Who is renting that jet right now? That plane isn't luxury anymore. It's liability. It's not champagne and leather seats. It's subpoenas, side eyes, and lawyers asking, why were you anywhere near this man's property? Celebrities don't want it. Corporations don't want it. Not even clout-hungry influencers want to explain why they boarded the Sean Combs Express in 2025. So when people start saying it's making money loudly without proof, that's not revenue, that's intimidation cosplay. It's a message saying, I still got reach, I still got resources, don't get brave. And when someone needs to say that, yeah, the reach is slipping. Here's where it gets uncomfortable, because prison does not care about your legacy. It doesn't care.
Damn sure don't, bro. When you go to prison, bro, that shit is bad, bro. Like, I ain't never been to prison, but I had went to jail for, I think, a ticket or something like that. But anyway, yeah, man, this shit.
About Bad Boy, it doesn't care about Grammys.
I'm here to tell you right now.
We don't care.
We don't care.
It cares about commissary. Inside, respect is rented monthly. You eat if the money comes. You're safe if the money comes. You have peace if the money comes. So this whole I'm still making millions narrative, that's not just for the public, that's for the inside. Because once people inside start thinking your money slowed down, once favors don't get paid, once the illusion cracks, your status updates fast. And suddenly, all those whispers turn into questions, and questions turn into problems. Now this part matters, because people think Netflix just embarrassed Diddy. Nah, Netflix ended the leverage. See, Diddy's real power was never talent. It was fear. Fear that he could blacklist you. Fear that he could bury you. Fear that if you spoke, something bad would happen. But fear only works if people believe you still have money, allies, and reach. And after that document, people started asking real questions. Where's the money actually coming from? Who's still protecting him? Why do we need PR stories saying he's quote unquote still rich? Once fear starts requiring explanations, it's already dying. And trust me, the next part of this story gets way more uncomfortable. Because now we got to talk about who this flex is really aimed at and why it might backfire. Here's the quiet part nobody in PR wants to say out loud. The brand is radioactive. This isn't cancel culture. This isn't quote unquote haters. This is risk management. Any company touching the Combs name right now isn't thinking about vibes. They're thinking about discovery, emails, old footage, old NDAs. Nobody wants to be the next subpoena headline. Nobody wants to explain to shareholders why they showed up anywhere near this mess. That's why you're not seeing new deals. That's why nobody's stepping forward publicly. That's why all the noise is rumors instead of contracts. Real money leaves paper trails. This story, it leaves smoke. Pay attention to how this story is being pushed. It's not clean. It's not detailed. There's no structure. Just vibes like still making millions, still powerful, still running things.
Lucy, stop it! Denial is a river in Egypt!
That's panic language. That's not how people talk when everything's stable. When someone's good, they don't need to rush the message. They don't need to over-explain. They don't need to shout from the rooftops that they're okay. This feels like someone realizing the narrative is slipping and trying to grab it mid-fall. And when stories get sloppy like this, it usually means something else is coming that they're trying to get ahead of. Let me say this real clear. Money only works if people believe it's real. Inside prison, outside prison, everywhere. The moment people stop believing you can still move money, silence people, or protect allies, your power evaporates. That's why this jet story isn't about cash flow. It's about belief management. It's saying, I can still buy protection. I can still fund loyalty. I can still make problems disappear. Because once belief cracks, people stop being polite. People stop being careful. People start talking. And belief, once gone, never comes back the same. Here's the irony nobody saw coming. This flex might backfire. Because now people are asking, if he's still rich, why are there so many lawsuits? If he's still powerful,
It's the NBA on Prime.
Friday, the story's leaking. If he's still in control, why does he need PR narratives from prison? That contradiction is loud, and contradictions attract attention. Attention attracts investigators. Investigators attract more people willing to speak. So instead of restoring fear, this move might actually invite scrutiny. And once scrutiny starts stacking, yeah, that's when things unravel fast. Here's the part that made me stop scrolling. Quietly, very quietly, the word is Diddy is leaning on his kids right now. Not emotionally, not spiritually, financially. Think about that. For years, these kids were accessories.
I don't know. I mean, he might have to. They're gonna have to do something, but I don't know how, because one of the sons, they was asking him for money when he was in prison. I guess to pay his car note or something like that. So I don't know how the hell they gonna get some money. But I know the mama, everything is in the mama name, so.
Photo ops, last name holders, red carpet smiles. Now suddenly it's go work, go build something, go keep the name alive. That's not legacy planning. That's panic delegation. You don't ask people to save an empire you never taught them how to run, unless you're out of options. Let's be honest. A real empire doesn't collapse when one person disappears. Apple didn't stop because Steve Jobs died. Disney didn't vanish because Walt left the room. But this, everything freezes the moment he can't move. That tells you everything. This wasn't an empire. It was a control hub. No systems, no autonomy, no
good credit. Is good karma better than good credit? That's a great question. I can't answer that one. Hey, that's a loaded, what they call that? A loaded question. Like that shit is loaded. Like I can't. You know what I'm saying?
Successors, just fear and dependence. And fear doesn't transfer generationally. It dies with the source. This part is ugly. Imagine growing up controlled, overshadowed, never trusted, then suddenly being told, save the brand, carry the name, fix what I broke. That's not empowerment. That's emergency labor. You can't hand someone a burning building and say, congrats, you're the fire chief now. And let's be real, these kids didn't get groomed for leadership. They got groomed for obedience. That difference matters now. Here's another problem nobody wants to say out loud. The public isn't rooting for a Combs comeback arc. There's no hunger for Diddy Jr. saves the empire. No, really, it's different this time. People don't want proximity. They want distance. And branding only works when people want to emotionally invest. Right now, the Combs name doesn't signal success. It signals risk, drama, and future headlines. That's not a foundation. That's a liability. Let me say this clean. This isn't dominance. This isn't strategy. This is maintenance. Image CPR. Narrative patchwork. Belief preservation. When power is real, it moves quietly. When power is fading, it talks a lot. Jets, millions, still got it. That's not flexing. That's reassurance. And reassurance is always aimed at fear. Here's the line that matters most. Empires built on fear don't get passed down. They don't get rebranded. They don't survive the spotlight. They evaporate the moment people stop being afraid. And what you're hearing right now, the whispers, the headlines, the flex stories, that's not strength. That's the sound of belief draining out. Here's the real lesson people keep dodging. Power that needs to announce itself is already leaking. Real power doesn't need headlines, prison flexes, or still rich stories whispered through sources. It just moves. What we're watching with Diddy isn't a fall, it's a slow bleed. A man who built everything around control, fear, and proximity, now realizing none of that works when the room goes quiet. No access, no intimidation, no reach. Just stories trying to keep belief alive. And the scariest part, when fear stops working, people don't just leave, they talk. That's when the real damage starts. Not from enemies, but from silence breaking. So let me ask you this. Do you think this prison flex is confidence or panic trying to look like power? If this breakdown hit, make sure you watch the video that just popped up on your screen right now. It connects directly to this story and takes it even further. I'll see you on the next one. Panda out.
All right, y'all, we going.
So much more.
Check it out, y'all. We going for shits and giggles right about now. We going for shits and giggles. And damn, boy, we got content. I put the right words in. We got content. Damn. Hey, damn, they got part 8. God damn. Hold on, y'all. We about to check out a couple of channels. This channel is 243 Basha. 243 Basha. Dr. Umar Funny Moments. Let's see what the hell they got going on. They got a good
We want to have a Garvey baby. Lord have mercy, Sister Danielle. You must not have heard me. Sister Danielle wants to have a Garveyite baby with King Kong Delicious. Sister Danielle, and she fine too. Look at them eyes. Sister Danielle, listen, baby. We got to build the nation first. If I give up all my testosterone, I won't have no energy to build the nation. I got to build first, okay? We
It is started off with
It is politics over the Punani. It is revolution over the romance. Sister Danielle wants to have a baby with King Kong Delicious. She fine too. Lord have mercy. Might have triplets. But Sister Danielle, stay focused, my sister. Understand, overstand, and understand. Never back out. We don't do that. I'm sorry, my brother. This is not a rainbow game. This is not a rainbow thing. This is not a rainbow gang. This is not a rainbow bang, my brother. I don't want no men on my feet telling men to shake their backside. We're not doing no tutti frutti here. I'm sorry, my brother. Whatever you into, you go do that. You go do you, my brother. Nobody's going to the beach with me with masculine energy. Only queens. Biologically born, beautiful, black, big booty. I'm sorry, let me take that back. It's consciousness over goodness. It's politics over punani. It's revolution over romance.
I was wondering if I could shit on your chest.
I'm sorry?
Can I shit on your chest?
I guess you are one of the members of the Zesty Festy?
No, I'm not.
You're a rainbow ganger, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna ask you to do me a favor. Can you please remove my photo as your Instagram icon?
I shit every single night, bro. I can't.
Can you please remove my photo as your Instagram icon, sir?
Alright, I'll remove it, but you kind of look like, what's the name? That or something.
Okay, maybe, sir. And I'm going to pray for your deliverance from the demon of zestiness, all right? Because I don't want you to be zesty, brother. We need you out here with our sisters.
I'll try and change my ways, brother.
Okay, just pray, brother. We're not going to criticize you, but you just need prayer. Call on your ancestors to take over the zesty demon. And before you know it, you'll be black trust.
If you get pregnant by a man over 50, the baby will come out already 50 years old. Are you listening to me? If you have a baby with a senior citizen, your baby will come out a senior citizen. His head will be bald. His eyes will already be filled. He will have bags under his eyes. Some of his teeth will never grow.
They said, that nigga said, if you have a baby with a man of a child 50, the child will look like Benjamin Button. Oh my God.
He will be coming out asking for a black and mild. That baby will come out asking for
the baby gonna come out asking for a black and mild. Hey, bruh, you can't make this shit up, bro. This shit for real. This shit for real though.
Of Hennessy, don't have babies with men over 50. The sperm is old and damaged. The sperm is drunk. The sperm is tired. The sperm is lazy. Why would you have a Viagra baby? Why do you want Viagra children? Dr. Umar, how do I get
laid? Said a Viagra child, bro. Bro, what is this man talking about?
We need a mental health hospital for raccoons like you. Umar, are you free tonight when you get to Philadelphia? I would love to take you to a midnight diner and pick your brain. I don't know about midnight, my sister. That's kind of late. That's low chakra hours. You want to go to a midnight diner in Philly so you can pick my brain. I think we got to reschedule that for an earlier hour, my sister. What midnight diner in Philly? Where we go? I'm not aware of no midnight diner in the city.
They gonna rob that nigga. Yeah, they gonna rob
my sister. I think you're trying to pick something else.
They trying to pick
that nigga
on
something else.
They trying to pick that nigga pocket. They trying to ride.
They trying to pick my brain. You can't do that, my sister. It is consciousness over the cookies. It is politics over the punani. It is institutions over intimacy. It is revolution.
I wish a bitch would tell me to meet her at 12 o'clock. Man, watch out. Watch out. If the bitch asks you to meet her at 12 o'clock, bro, you better really know this. Hold on.
Before romance, it is business before the bedroom. We must stay focused, brothers. The only BBL I know is a big blueberry lemonade. The only BBL I know is a big blueberry lemonade. When you hear Dr. Ifa Tunde, when you hear Big Papa say, I want a BBL, I'm talking about a big blueberry lemonade. Oh yes, Black Queens forever, Snow Bunnies never. Ladies, it is 10 o'clock in the morning. You should not be sending me sexy pictures of yourself inappropriately dressed at 10 in the morning. It is consciousness over the cookies. It is politics. I'm teaching the people. Don't be sending me 5 pound thick in a thighs pictures when I'm trying to educate the community. But brothers and sisters, we gotta unite.
But you want to get back with her because you like those vanilla cookies. You're not trying to get back with her to raise your son under the same roof. You just want some more of that vanilla cream cheese.
Parent, know your school. Peace and love, family. Good to see you, baby. All right, now, Lord have mercy. Fine chocolate curvy self. Brothers and sisters.
Car becomes the property. How you doing, beautiful? Then your car becomes the property. We must stay focused, brothers. We must stay focused, brothers.
You gotta know exactly who you are.
Lord have mercy. We must stay focused. I love you too, baby. Miss Good Coochie. What kind of name is that? Miss Good Coochie. Wait a minute. Was that a snow bunny? Miss Good Coochie. That was a bunny. Oh, Lord. That was a... Miss... I got to block Miss Good Coochie. That's a snow bunny.
Lady T said she got that water for me. What kind of water you got for me, Lady T? The kind of water that refreshes your soul. Lord have mercy. It's time to go swimming. I'll have my cowboy hat on as a surprise. Lord have mercy.
This nigga say he trying to go boots on the ground. Boots on the ground. Look at that.
Lord have mercy. Oh, Lord.
That 17-hour flight was no joke. I kept waking up and the snow bunny was breathing on my neck, smelling like pickle juice and spoiled kiwi limes or some shit. I like what you're doing, Dr. Umar. Beautiful black skin. Juicy J, are you a male or female? Juicy J, thank you for the $5. Are you a male or female? Because I don't want no man fantasizing about my beautiful golden brown skin. I don't want no man. Juicy J, I'm assuming you're a woman. Because I don't want no man giving me compliments on my skin. That sounds a little zesty.
Brother Wick, you canceled your $25? Must have a white girl. It's okay, brother. Look.
You said you started like snow bunnies? No problem. Go ahead and date him. We don't need you, my brother. Burn your African race membership card. Please do that. Please burn your African race membership card. Please tear it up, just tear it up. Flush it out. You want a bunny hop? Go ahead, my brother. Nobody's trying to stop you. You're a lost cause, a waste of ancestral DNA. Go ahead and flush your African race card down the drain. Go ahead. A polygamous bunny hopper. I'm going to need to move to Africa before it gets too late. He said he's a polygamous bunny hopper. He got 4 Neanderthal queens. I'm going to have to relocate. I think that's about there for me. I can't take it anymore. Brothers and sisters, I'm having a mental breakdown. I'm moving to Africa.
Umar, my brother loves white women. How can I redeem him? Don't redeem him. Release him to the bunny brigade. Don't save the snow bunny love. We got to stop trying to save the snow bunny love. If your brother is addicted to the bunny, send him to the bunny brigade. Send his ass to the ice storm. Send him to the snowstorm. Don't try to save your brother. Give him to the snow bunny mafia. Let that Negro go free.
Donations. Gifts. More gifts.
You know what's funny? When I be at the airport, right? When I be at the airport, the young Caucasian women, if they built like black women, they walk by me a couple of times to make sure I see they got a big butt. Sometimes they try to accidentally bump into me. They want me to see that they got the curves of the queen, but you ain't got that melanin. You ain't got that melanin. You ain't got that black girl magic. I don't care how big your ass is. You ain't got that black girl magic, the curves of the queen, but you ain't got that melanin. You ain't got that melanin. You ain't got that black girl magic. I don't care how big your ass is. You ain't got that disrespect to the yellow women. Disrespect to the red women.
Shots fired. Shots fired in this bitch.
You might have the hips of the black woman. You might have the voluptuousness of the black woman, but you ain't got that black girl magic. That African honeycomb, if you ain't got that African honeycomb, I don't care about the curves. Anybody can go get a BBL. But if you ain't got that African honeycomb, ladies, there's nothing you can do. I'm sorry. Nothing compares to the African honeycomb. Once you have some African honey, you're going to leave that man
Vietnamese alone. Once you have some real African, honey, you're going to leave that. Once you have some real melanin drip from a real melanin sister, it's a wrap.
Hold on, I got a Ku Klux Klan member on my page. Let me block this Ku Klux Klan member. Nobody scare y'all no more. Fuck out of here. Okay? So anyway, what was I about to say before the Klan man distracted me?
You're not natural, baby. I see you got that perm in there. I still love you. You're gorgeous, but you're not nappy. You got to be nappy, baby. You got to be nappy. If I can't grab it, I can't have it.
Nigga, they fucked the line up, bro.
And I know that you probably have access.
I can't scam you because you ain't got no money to scam. I got Negro saying Dr. Umar is scamming and they ain't got no money to scam. You the brokest Negro on my Instagram live talking about stop scamming people. And you know, how much scam you? You got 2 quarters and 3 nickels in your damn pocket talking about stop scamming. How can a broke man complain about getting scammed? Brother, please hit the Cash App family, $FDMG school. Hit the Cash App family. Jalen, I look better than you on my worst day, brother. Go get your girlfriend and ask if she wants you or me. Stop playing with me, brother. You know she don't want you. She just time since she get a real man. But let me stay focused. Don't look at my toes because they ugly. Do not look at my toes, okay? You will get fined $1,000 if you look at these toes. The only person who ever see my toes is my wife, and she ain't gonna see them till we get married, because if she see my toes before we get married, I might not get married. That's right, brothers and sisters. I need some serious cosmetic toe surgery out there, brothers and sisters. Is there any sisters out there who specialize in healing the feet?
Let me catch a Negro with 2 buttons of
This nigga crazy, bro.
But we got a couple British spoons over here, so I'm gonna send them to the block party. Probably got a white girlfriend and everything. But let's keep on going.
I'm not gonna fight you. I'm gonna just take your girl. That's all I'm gonna do. I'm gonna hit you when it hurts. Smack you up, better than that. Take your girl and send her back to you. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna hit you where it hurts.
When I was on the Roland Martin show, I wanted to smack the shit out that coon. But I couldn't. I had to show humility.
I can't post on Facebook right now because I called somebody a down low booty bandit. So I can't post on Facebook right now for calling one of my trolls a down low booty bandit. Sister Chantel want a $10 refund? You're not going to get it, Sister Chantel. Because you give white folks more money than you ever gave black boys. I'm not processing no $10 refund. Get your ass up out of here. I heard one coon said he can't wait till I come to his city because he gonna pull up. Then pull up then. Then pull up then. You want to pull up? Pull up then. What is the book called? You can't read? Did you just say what is the book called? But stay focused on the message. Stop worrying about how the man's look. That's some beta male shit. You shouldn't be in another man's nose. I'm working on a Snow Bunny Crisis self-treatment manual for black males to free themselves from the mayonnaise. I'm going to help you liberate yourself from the mayonnaise, brothers and sisters. You will be free from the mayonnaise. No more white sugar, no more white milk, no more white rice, no more mayonnaise, brothers. Okay? Let's educate.
Who rainbow gang the street outside the source of knowledge? Who rainbow gang the street? Who rainbow gang the street? Source of knowledge, Newark, New Jersey, King Kong consciousness, Brick City, Snow Bunnies Never, Source of knowledge bookstore. They did rainbow gang the whole back street of the black bookstore. Was that intentional or coincidence, brothers and sisters? That's right. Charles Barkley, I sentence you to 5,000 lashes for conduct unbecoming a black man. Shaquille O'Neal, I sentence you to 5,000 lashes for conduct unbecoming a black man. Richard Jefferson, I sentence you to 500 lashes for conduct unbecoming a black man. Stephen A. Smith, I sentence you to 4,000 lashes for conduct unbecoming a black man. Chris Broussard, Rob Parker, I sentence you both to 2,500 lashes for conduct unbecoming a black man. Michael Wilbon, fat, bald-headed, no-neck midget, I sentence you to 3,000 lashes for conduct unbecoming a black man. Snow Bunny Shannon Sharp, you're the biggest and strongest of everybody on the list, so I'm gonna have to sentence you for 10,000 lashes for conduct unbecoming a black man and saying that no black woman can make you happy. 10,000 lashes for Snow Bunny Shannon Sharp. Who else we got on this list? Snow bunnies who have given birth to African children, you need to listen up. Pull up a chair, sit your flat ass down, and listen up right now.
I've been receiving a lot of white resumes, but I'm not going for them yet. Politics over Punani, consciousness over coochie. Politics over Punani, consciousness over coochie. I'm not going through the wifey resume.
When I come to your wedding next year, are you marrying an African woman? You're in love with a white woman. Congratulations, you have had your melanin snatched. Your melanin has been snatched, and you can go head over to the Ice Kingdom. We no longer need you.
Snow Bunny alert. Snow Bunny alert. When I see the bunnies, I start running down the street like Jonathan Majors. Whenever you see a snow bunny black man, start running down the street like Jonathan Majors. Jonathan Majors showed us how to deal with the bunnies. Jonathan Majors showed you how to deal with the bunnies. When they show up, you start running. He went bunny hopping. When y'all thought he went missing, he was out bunny hopping. Bunny hopping and bunny shopping. Kanye went snow bunny hopping and snow bunny shopping. He got another white wife.
Garden Lights shines with new features and familiar favors through January 11th. Get tickets today.
Sweet thing.
This is what power looks like. I felt like Tony Montana. Dr. Umar. Dr. Umar.
Hold on, I don't know this lady. I don't know her. She I don't know what she talking about.
I'm half black. Ain't no such thing as half black. You don't mix white milk with chocolate milk and get half chocolate milk. When you ever see half chocolate milk? What kind of milk is this? It's half chocolate. Ain't no such thing as half chocolate. It's either chocolate or it ain't. It's either chocolate or it ain't. Everything is defined by the majority DNA. Listen to me, biracial Africans. Listen up. What the hell is a biracial African? See how they play these games? Half black. No such thing as being half black. African DNA dominates all other DNA. Once you are mixed with us, you are us biologically. But
Man, I'm about to go, y'all. Merry Christmas again. Probably be back a little later on. Might do some shorts and some AI videos. I'll be back. Peace and one love, y'all.